So this is a strange scene,
Yes.
very often misinterpreted and misunderstood, and difficult also to understand.
Yes.
But at the same time, this is a center. A great portent appeared in heaven. So it's not on earth,
Okay.
it is heaven. That's the
Heaven.
first thing. So this is a vision, first of all. It's not something that you can see with naked eyes. It was already said, come up here, I'll show. This is a portent, it's a symbol, a sign. So it's a great sign. And the signs have two facts, two individuals. A woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. Who is this?
Yes.
Clothed with the sun. So Jesus' garments became white as the sun. So this is something participating in God's glory. And moon under his feet. So this is a kind of apparently divine figure,
Okay.
but not God,
Not.
neither an angel.
Yes.
It's a human being. And the 12 stars on her head. So now what about this woman? She was pregnant and was crying out in birth pangs in the agony
Yes.
of giving birth. So it is normally, usually understood as the people of God, the people of Israel,
People of God.
the people of God waiting for the Messiah.
Okay.
So a woman in birth pangs is a woman who is expecting a child. So initially or practically this can be seen as the people of God, the people of Israel. People of Israel, the 12 stars represent the 12 tribes. The 12 tribes. And they are chosen as people of God. So this is the initial part of the vision. A woman, a pregnant woman going to give birth to a child. So that is the people of God awaiting the Messiah and the anguish. So this can also represent the entire world waiting for a Redeemer. So the anguish, the pain,
Yes.
the Redeemer, the child is the Messiah. So that is the first. Then the second, another portent appeared in heaven. That is again in heaven.
Okay.
A great red dragon. A dragon is a snake.
Yes.
And later on it will be said this is snake is the old snake in the paradise.
Old serpent.
So dragon is presented as a symbol of Satan. So on the one hand you have the people of God in travail, in birth pangs, and on the other hand there is the dragon, the Satan, ready to swallow not the people but the child. So a child, so not to make the salvation impossible to reach here. So one who wants to take away the Redeemer, make the people always slave, keep them enslaved. That is the Satan wants to take away the child, swallow. That's what he did in paradise. Eat that fruit and you will be like God. So they are taken away. And it is what exactly he did in the desert when Jesus. Ask the stones to become bread. Fill your hunger, fill your stomach. So if you do that, you will be rebelling against God. So Satan who wants to prevent redemption coming to the people, that is the dragon, the dragon with the 7 heads and 10 horns. So it is also represented as a Roman, the Roman Empire. So the 7 heads can be 7 emperors. And we have the 7 emperors here, starting with Tiberius. Tiberius, who was the emperor from 14 to 32, then Caligula, 30 to 41, Claudius, 41 to 54, Nero, 51 to 58, Vespasian, 69 to 79, Titus, 79 to 81, and Domitian, 81 to 96. So these 7 heads can mean also the 7 kings. It can represent. So these kings are nothing but instruments of Satan. That's what the author is trying to say. And the 10 horns can mean also the power. The diadems, the crowns on 7 heads represent kingship. So this dragon or the Satan is working on this earth through the Roman Empire, through their rulers. So that is what it would seem.
Okay.
But that's not all. A great red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 diadems on his head. That's the, you can also say the Daniel 7. His tail swept down a third of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth. That is something more difficult to understand. So how can the stars of the earth can be drawn down? So this can be interpreted, it's a kind of mythological way of presenting the fall of angels.
Fall of angels.
Fall of angels can be seen. Many themes are put together. So 1/3 of the stars, it can simply mean so mighty, powerful. A dragon that can bring down even stars. That can be the simple interpretation, but at the same time, this can be also seen as Lucifer's or the Satan's rebellion against God, by which he brings also many other angels together, fallen angels. So this can be seen as the fall of angels, but many symbols put together. So first of all, this is the power, the terrible power it has, a dragon, and on the other side is a woman. A pregnant woman. See the contrast.
Yes, contrast.
The contrast, there's a pregnant woman in travail and a huge dragon with so powerful.
Mighty and powerful, yeah.
And we could ask the question, who is more powerful? A pregnant woman or a dragon? That is something. A pregnant woman is a woman with hope. She would bring forth a child and he will rule. So the truth, goodness will seem to be very simple, very weak, like a pregnant woman. And the power of evil like a dragon with so many weapons. But in reality, this life is more powerful than death. Love is more powerful than hatred. I would say woman is more powerful than man. So this woman is presented, a woman is a symbol, a woman is who brings forth life. As Adam called her Eve, because through her the world will continue. So now that is going to a far away, but now what is that? The dragon stood before the woman who was about to bear a child, so that he might devour her child as soon as it was born. So prevent redemption coming to the temptations. But then, and she gave birth to a son, a male child, who is to rule all the nations with a rod of iron. Psalm 2:1. So this is the Messiah. So the birth of the Messiah, and nothing of his activity is presented, he is taken up. But a child was snatched away and taken to God and to his throne. Now, the earthly life of Jesus is not mentioned. Only one thing, he is taken up. So Satan did not succeed in preventing, did not succeed in swallowing. The child who is to rule the world is with God. So that is the victory already won. But then that victory has to be carried out in the world. In the world you have persecution. That's what is being said. Her child was taken up and the woman fled into the wilderness. There she has a place prepared by God, so that there she can be nourished for 1,260 days.
Same time from the previous one.
So now this woman who is in the desert is not the people of God of Israel, because the Messiah is come.
It's already come.
So the second stage of the people of Israel, we call it the church. So the old and the new together, the old Israel and the new Israel, the Israel and the people of God, the church. So the second stage of this people of God is now in the desert. So 1,260 days, as we said, the 42 months, so 3.5 years, is all the same. The time from Jesus' resurrection, ascension, to the second coming. So this is a time where the church is in a desert and she is under persecution. So this woman is in the desert, but she is protected.
And she's nourished.
Nourished. Yeah, she'll be nourished for that. So that she'll be taken care of. But then behind this scene, behind this woman, we can see also a pointer to the Blessed Virgin Mary.
Yes. Very, very.
But not directly. By as a kind of as an allegory, by kind of similarity.
Yes.
Mary, the mother of Jesus, the Messiah. So he's the one who gave birth, and the one with the 12 stars, etc. You represent the Virgin Mary with this as the
Yes,
woman,
yes.
but not directly.
Not directly.
Directly, it is the people of God, but as a part of the people of God and as a mother of the church, Mary also can be implied.
She's a forerunner.
Yeah,
with
so
part
we
of
can
it.
say in
Yes,
that.
yes.
So that is the first scene. Now come. So here is the second scene. As I said in the beginning, we cannot say everything so chronologically one after the other. Same event, same idea is presented again and again through different images.
Yes.
So first was the dragon trying to swallow the child. Now the dragon fight in heaven. So this again the fall of angels. So here it is more clear.
More clear. Yeah.
So to be exact, the fall of angels or fall of Satan effectively takes place with the crucifixion and death of Jesus. So the fall, so the beginning of Satan can be something, but the real fall, defeat of Satan is through Jesus. So Jesus, and here this is presented as the battle between Michael and the angels. This is a kind of mythological presentation. We do not know exactly how Satan fell, but then when you come to the Gospels, Jesus says the house is secure when a strong man guards it, armed. But when a stronger man comes and defeats him, he can plunder.
Yes.
So he was speaking about himself. So the whole world is under Satan's power when Jesus comes. So that's what he says. The whole world has been given to him. So then, now Jesus defeats him, and that's why he says when he sends out disciples, you can plunder the house of Satan. You can convert the people from Satan's domain into Christ. So actually, this is representing the death and resurrection of Jesus, by which Satan has been completely defeated, but presented in a mythological way. Okay. It can also mean some kind of a primordial battle between Michael and angel Lucifer. We do not know. The word Michael itself is a symbolic name. Who is like God?
Who is like God?
So the one who claims God alone, one who professes God as the only God. And then there is someone who challenges this, there is a fight, and Satan has been defeated. In reality, the defeat of Satan comes through Jesus' death and exaltation. So that, I think this is a symbolic presentation of what? So with the death of Jesus, Satan has lost his day. And there's another way of looking at it. For example, the book of Job.
Yes.
In the book of Job, Satan is there. Among the children of God, he also comes. And Satan is presented as one who goes around, is a CID, as a public prosecutor, finds fault with everybody. Yeah. So that is what here also said. The one who has been accusing God's children or at God's throne has been thrown down. So it can point to many things, but at the same time, I think the central point is the messianic exaltation and the defeat of Satan. So now he has lost the place in heaven. What does it mean? So the defeat of the evil comes stage by stage. First we see he was thrown down from heaven. Now he is so powerful on earth. In earth he is bound and he is shut down in a dungeon. And then later he is taken up, and in chapter 20 you see he is thrown into the fire. So the content, the message is evil will be defeated step by step.
Step by step.
So you have to stand firm with Christ and ready to face persecution and death, but be sure the final victory will be yours. So this is what the fight means, I think. I think we can conclude this. Then I heard a loud voice in heaven proclaiming, "Now have come the salvation and the power and the kingdom of our God and the authority of his Messiah. For the accuser of our comrades has been thrown down, who accuses them day and night before our God." That's what I was saying about the book of Job. So with the death and resurrection of Jesus, Satan has lost his hold. He has been imprisoned, or he has been thrown down from heaven. But then woe to. So here comes. But they have conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. For they did not cling to life even in the face of death. So how do you win your victory over the devil? These are two things: the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. So Jesus, that is the blood of the Lamb. Jesus has defeated, and you participate in that victory of Jesus by the word of testimony. The word of God, you believe in Jesus and you bear witness to Jesus, the word of testimony. So these two things you have to keep in mind. Remember that you are redeemed by Jesus, his blood, and you have a part to play in it by bearing testimony to Jesus.
Yes, so faith with works.
Yeah. Faith with work, that is the proclaiming the word and bearing the witness,
yes,
even in the face of persecution. But they rejoice then, you heavens, and those who dwell in them. But woe to the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you with great wrath, because he knows that his time is short. So that is leading to the second stage. Now, the first stage of victory has been won.
Yes.
Now the fight is on the earth, and that is what is going to be explained in the next coming episodes. And here they are focusing more on the persecution of the church by the Roman Empire. That we'll see tomorrow.
Yes.